Nestled in the harsh landscapes of Jalisco, Mexico, Puente Grande prison stood as a fortress, reputed to be impregnable. Built to house the most dangerous criminals, its walls were doubled, watchtowers bristled with armed guards, and every gate was a checkpoint. This was the world's stage where one of the most audacious prison breaks would unfold. Joaquín Guzmán, better known as El Chapo, was not just another inmate. As the leader of the Sinaloa cartel, his name struck fear far beyond the confines of any cell. Captured and imprisoned in 1993 after a high-stakes chase, his life behind bars was about to challenge the very system designed to contain him. Inside Puente Grande, El Chapo turned his cell into a command center. Despite the bars, he lived a king's life, turning guards into servants with bribes that bought him luxuries, from gourmet meals to clandestine visits by his wives and mistresses. His empire ran uninterrupted, fueled by corruption at every level. Underneath the semblance of captivity, El Chapo plotted. The prison walls sparked a new venture, drug tunnels. With his cartel's resources, he hired engineers and architects to pioneer a network of underground passages that would become his signature move in the narcotics playbook. As the U.S. clamored for his extradition, fearing their prisons would better cage the beast, a new law proposed in 2001 threatened El Chapo's makeshift freedom. The walls he had bribed into transparency suddenly felt suffocating. Escape was no longer a luxury, it was a necessity. The plan was audacious in its simplicity and daring. El Chapo leveraged his network within to reduce guard presence and prepared to vanish right under their noses. Damaso Lopez, his most trusted ally inside, orchestrated the inside job, ensuring that all the pieces were in place. On a cool January night in 2001, with the guards' eyes turned away, El Chapo slipped into a laundry cart. Covered under heaps of dirty uniforms, he was wheeled past several checkpoints, his fate hanging by a thread. Each turn of the cart wheels was a quiet drum roll to freedom. As the cart approached the final gate, a heart-stopping glitch. It began to roll back under El Chapo's weight. For a moment, the entire plan teetered on the brink of disaster. But quick action by an accomplice steadied the cart, and they moved on. Beyond the prison gates, a vehicle awaited, its trunk empty and ready. With practiced ease, El Chapo climbed in. The trunk lid closed, and just like that, the most fortified prison had lost its prize. The escape was clean, unseen, and as daring as the man who orchestrated it. The news of El Chapo's escape sent shockwaves through Mexico and beyond. It wasn't just an escape, it was an indictment of a system so rife with corruption that even the most dangerous man could simply vanish. El Chapo was free again, and with his freedom, his legend grew, untouchable, cunning, and forever elusive. After his escape, El Chapo vanished into the network of safe houses and tunnels his cartel controlled. Under his leadership, the Sinaloa cartel's operations expanded exponentially. Using the tunnels originally designed for his escape, the cartel's smuggling operations into the U.S. became more audacious and profitable than ever, pushing their monthly earnings into the tens of millions. In 2014, after years of being a shadow, El Chapo's freedom came to a dramatic halt. Intelligence breakthroughs, led by joint Mexican and U.S. forces, pinpointed his location. In a coordinated dawn raid, he was captured without a shot fired in a beachfront condo, proving that even the most cunning could not outrun the law forever. Not one to be caged, El Chapo's second stint in prison was marked by an even more spectacular escape from Altiplano, a maximum security prison thought to be escape-proof. His cartel dug a mile-long tunnel right up to the shower of his cell, complete with lighting, ventilation, and a motorcycle on rails to speed his escape. On the night of July 11, 2015, Under the cover of darkness and the sound of a simulated thunderstorm created by his team, El Chapo stepped into the shower of his cell, slipped through the tunnel entrance cleverly hidden beneath the shower floor, and rode the motorcycle to freedom. This escape, even more than his first, stunned the world and embarrassed the Mexican government. Once again a fugitive, El Chapo managed to evade capture for months, moving between safe houses and continuing to oversee cartel operations. His life on the run was a mix of paranoia and lavishness, surrounded by bodyguards and luxury even in the most remote hideouts. His freedom was short-lived, as the relentless pursuit by Mexican and U.S. authorities finally cornered him in January 2016 in Los Mochis, Sinaloa. After a fierce shootout, El Chapo was captured, hiding in a storm drain, his myth of invincibility shattered. Extradited to the United States in 2017, El Chapo faced a trial that was as much a media spectacle as it was a judicial process. Found guilty on all charges, he was sentenced to life imprisonment plus 30 years in the ADX Florence Supermax prison in Colorado, a facility renowned for housing the most dangerous criminals under the strictest security. In ADX Florence, El Chapo spends 23 hours a day in solitary confinement, a stark contrast to the freedom and power he once wielded. The man who once built tunnels to escape now lives surrounded by walls he cannot breach, monitored round the clock without a moment's privacy. El Chapo's story is one of extraordinary rise and fall, marked by daring escapes and brutal crackdowns. It serves as a cautionary tale of how power and corruption can build an empire, but also lead to a spectacular downfall. As we conclude the tale of El Chapo, the world's most notorious drug lord, we are left to ponder the immense resources and efforts it took to bring him to justice. His story is not just about crime and punishment, but also about the resilience of law enforcement and the inevitable end that comes to those who believe they are above the law. As we close the chapter on one of the most riveting true crime sagas of our time, we invite you to delve deeper into the world of real-life mysteries and escapes. Subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories and comprehensive analyses of the most infamous figures in crime history. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest releases, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think was the key to El Chapo's elusive nature, and what would you like us to explore next? Your insights enrich our community and guide our next adventures into the dark corners of criminal masterminds.